Very good morning, dear student. Welcome to the Stars Points. Dear student, in continuous to the previous topic, in the conic section, this is the last section of the conic that we have to learn today. That is the hyperbola. Dear student, we have already learned about the circle, parabola, and ellipse. So we have one more figure that is called a hyperbola. And here today we see what is the meaning of the hyperbola, how we can define it, and different terminology which we are using in the hyperbola, that also we have to see. Also we draw the equation of the hyperbola, how we can draw the equation of the hyperbola, and some more property. Geometrically we see what property is followed by the hyperbola. That's we have to see. So let's start. So first we see the definition of the hyperbola. You may write down the definition for hyperbola. So definition says a hyperbola is the set of all points. A hyperbola is the set of all points in a plane. Now the what property? That says the difference of whose distance is the difference of whose distances from two fixed points is constant. Two fixed point in the plane is constant. So dear student, as we see definition of the ellipse, only difference that also says the ellipse is the set of all points in a plane, the sum of. In that case, we are taking sum of the differences of the two fixed point is a ellipse. Now, in place of sum, you have replaced only difference. So, if you talk about the differences of the distances, that is constant. So, our distances. So, you can say the distance of further point to the nearest, that different. Clear? That should be constant. Clear? So here we draw the figure. The term difference that is used in the definition means the distance to the further point minus distance to the nearest point. So here see, if you want to draw the figure of this hyperbola, there are two fixed points. Suppose we are saying this is f1 and this is f2. Clear? Now, if there is a set of points which is moving here, now any point on the boundary of this, suppose this is P, so its distance from the further point, that is, suppose this is P minus distance from the nearest point is fixed. So Pf1 minus Pf2, this is constant. Clear? So two fixed point, we can say further point minus nearest point. Distance of the point P from the further point minus distance of the point P to the nearer point, or Pf1 minus Pf2, or vice versa. There may be here also a point moving. If you are taking, there may be a point P1 whose distance from this further point to the nearest point, that is a constant, or P1 F2 minus P1 F1 is constant. Same definition. The distance, suppose this P1 is moving in this way, that any position, suppose here you can take point after some time, this is P2. So the distance of P2 from F2 minus P2 F2 minus P2 F1. All these are equal or constant. So that's why this is a hyperbola. The distance, the locus of a moving point. This is the locus of a moving point. You can measure the distance of this point at any stage from the further point minus nearer point. तो इस पास में कौन सा, ये F2 पास में इसके, और इसका दूर कौन सा F1 है, और इस कर्व के लिए दूर पॉइंट कौन सा हो गया F2, पास में कौन सा है, तो हम क्या कहेंगे P1 F2 minus P1 F1 constant. Similarly P F1 minus P1 F2. Similarly for P2 F2 minus P2 F1 is constant. Suppose you take here any other point S, so S F1 minus S F2, that is constant. So this is known as constant. Now here since two fixed points are called, two fixed points are called foci of the hyperbola. You may call these fixed point foci of the hyperbola. Similarly, you can see some more terminology as we have drawn in the case of the ellipse. Like in the ellipse, जैसा आपने ellipse में पढ़ा था, कई terminology हम लोगों ने use की थी. So here also we have to use. Now first one is say the midpoint of the line segment joining the foci. So what is the foci? This F1, F2. These 2 points are called as foci of the hyperbola. Now the joining of these 2 points, that is F1, F2. So midpoint of this. So what definition? The midpoint of the line segment joining the foci is called the center. So line midpoint of the line joining two foci of hyperbola is called its center. Clear? Called center of hyperbola. What do you mean by center of hyperbola? The midpoint of line segment joining the 2 foci of the hyperbola. जो ये F1 और F2 है, इन दोनों को मिलाने वाली लाइन का midpoint is called as a center. So this is the center. Clear? This is focus and this is also focus. 2 focus of, we can say 2 foci are there. Clear? Then more see definition, the line through the foci. Now any line which is passing through the foci is called as transverse axis. What is the meaning of transverse axis? The line which is passing through the foci. As in the case of the ellipse, if you call, this is the major axis. Ellipse में हमने इसको क्या नाम दिया था? Major axis. But here we are given name it as transverse axis. What is the transverse axis? A line which is passing through the foci of an hyperbola. Clear? Now similarly, the line from the center and perpendicular to the transverse axis. A line passes through the center and perpendicular to the transverse axis. Perpendicular to transverse axis is called a conjugate axis. Right? So definition of the conjugate axis: conjugate axis. That is this line. A line which is passing through the center of hyperbola and perpendicular to major axis. So this is perpendicular to this one. In the case of the ellipse, we are called this is minor axis. In ellipse, we are called this is minor axis. But here we are called it as a conjugate axis. What is the conjugate axis? A line which is passing through the center of the hyperbola and perpendicular to the transverse axis. The point at which the hyperbola intersect the transverse axis. The point at which the hyperbola or hyperbolic curve intersect the transverse axis is known as vertices of a hyperbola. What is meaning of vertices? So this is the parabolic curve. This parabolic curve and transverse axis intersect the point that is known as vertex. So this is the vertex of a hyperbola. Which point? This point. Point of intersection of the hyperbola with the transverse axis. Similarly, so there are two vertices. This is V. This is also point of intersection of the hyperbolic curve with the transverse axis. Correct? So there are two vertices of a parabola. So that is same definition as the ellipse. The intersection of the ellipse with the major axis. The major replaced by transverse axis. That is known as vertex of the hyperbola. Now also we use some symbol as in the case of the ellipse. Here also we take some symbol. So see, we denote the distance between two foci. We may draw this figure again clearly. So this is the conjugate axis, this is the transverse axis, and this is parabolic curve, sorry, hyperbolic curve. This is also a hyperbolic curve. Here we can say F1, first foci, and this is F2. Clear? And we already give the name, that is vertex. A and B are the vertex. Now see, we denote the distance between two foci. Distance between two foci. So that is in the ellipse also we call it as a 2C. ये आपने ellipse में भी देखा था, distance between two foci. This from this to this point. That is 2C. F1, F2. That is F1, F2 distance is called as 2C. As in the ellipse also we say distance is, and the distance between the two vertices. Distance between two vertices of an hyperbola, that is 2. In ellipse also we see, or we call this is a 2A. Ellipse, in also we have this distance as a 2A. Distance between A and B. AB इक्वल टू 2A। लेकिन यहाँ पर एक बहुत बड़ा डिफरेंस है जो हर स्टूडेंट गलती करता है समझने में। वहां पर क्या है कि A इज ग्रेटर देन C फॉर इलिप्स, A is greater than C, but here we can say this is 2A. So for this we can say A is less than C. देखिए जैसे इलिप्स का मैं फिगर बढ़ाऊंगा साइड में, तो ये हमारे वर्टेक्स है, तो इन दोनों के बीच का ये डिस्टेंस 2A रहा, 2A, और ये फोकस और फोकाई कह सकते हैं आप, और इन दोनों के बीच का 2C, तो उल्टा हो गया। So whenever you are taking the calculation in consideration, you have to see in the case of the ellipse A is greater than C, but here C is greater than A. तो इसलिए एक फॉर्मूला है वो जो चेंज होगा मैं बताऊंगा बाद में, that have to change. So what we can say, distance between two vertices is 2A. Clear? We define, so this is also known by distance AB. Clear? So that is the length of the transverse axis. This is called the length of transverse axis. AB also, or 2A is the length of the transverse axis. As same in the ellipse, 2A is the length of major axis. Now we define one more quantity. We define B equal to root of A square minus C square minus B square. C square minus B, where B is the called as, or 2B is called the length of the conjugate axis. Conjugate axis. So this length of the conjugate axis is given by 2B, where B square equal to C square. अब यहाँ पर भी एक डिफरेंस है, that is very important. Here we are using B as a C square minus A square. Clear? But in the case of the ellipse, B square equal to A square minus C square. Because in ellipse A greater than C, that's why we are using A square minus C square. But in the case of the hyperbola, A is greater than C, that's why we are using this B square equal to C square minus A square. C is greater, so what greater minus is called? Here also greater minus. तो ये फॉर्मूला दोनों में थोड़ा ध्यान रखना है, कंफ्यूज हो जाता है, कई बार बच्चा उल्टा कर लेता है, तब वैल्यू आपका रूट नेगेटिव आ जाएगा, ठीक है ना, तो इमेजरी नंबर आ जाएगा अगर उल्टा कर दिया इसमें, क्योंकि यहाँ A बड़ा है और तो छोटे में से बड़ा कर दोगे तो ये माइनस में आएगा, तो बी स्क्वायर इक्वल टू माइनस, विच इज नॉट पॉसिबल, और इसी तरह से इसमें उल्टा कर दिया जाएगा। सो ओनली डिफरेंस ऑफ ईयर ए स्क्वायर माइनस ए स्क्वायर और ईयर सी स्क्वायर माइनस ए स्क्वायर, दैट शुड बी टेकन इन वेरी केयरफुली। So these are there. Now one more thing we have to see or discuss here, that this constant distance, what is the length of this constant distance? With constant distance of a point from further to the nearer, that we have to see. Clear? To find the constant, to find the constant distance, that is P1F2 minus P1F1. So P1, suppose any point here you can take P. So P1F2 minus Pf1. Clear? So how can you find? So by taking this point P on, now suppose this point P1 is moving on this path. After some time, P1 coincide with A. Then what happens? If P1 coincide with A, ये घूमता घूमता यहाँ आ जाएगा. Then what we can write this? P1 is at A. So AF2 minus AF1. To find this means same as to find this, because this is the definition, same at every point, at every position. This distance or this difference of the further point minus near is always constant. ये हमेशा constant होना चाहिए. So we can say similarly, if you take this one, point B, which should be equal to BF1 minus BF2. You can say in also, that is also same by the definition. Clear? Now say you may write AF2 in the figure very carefully. See, AF2 can be written as AB plus BF2. This AF2 can be written as AB plus BF2. So we can write this as AB plus BF2 minus AF1 equal to BF1 can be written as BF1. AB or BA plus AF1. So you can say AB plus AF1. This BF1 can be written as AB plus AF1. This remains same. That is minus BF2. Now in both sides you can say the value of AB cancel with the AB and AF with the AF. So what we get, that is AF1 equal to BF1. Clear? So AB, if you cancel with AB, then see here BF2 minus AF1 equal to AF1 minus BF2. Now transfer BF2, then twice of BF2 minus plus, so twice of AF1. So we get very important result that BF2 equal to AF1. तो आपको क्या रिजल्ट मिल गया? BF2 equal to AF1. BF2 equal to AF2. So if you put this in this formula, then what see? Again we use that formula. So BF1 minus this. So we can write BF1 minus BF2 equal to BF1 minus BF2 equal to this. Now this again expand BF1 what we written? AB plus AF1 minus BF2. Now BF2 and AF1 are equal. In this we prove these are equal. So what we get? Here we prove BF2 equal to AF1, but BF2 minus plus. So these are equal. That's why cancel. So finally what we get? BF1 minus BF2 equal to AB, and we are saying AB equal to 2A. So this constant difference is equal to. So what we can say, the constant difference is 2A. Like in the case of the ellipse, you see the sum of the differences from 2 points is fixed, and we find that fixed value is 2A. In similar way, we are finding that this BF1 minus BF2 2A. BF1 minus B2, but this is equal to this equal to this. So what we can say? P1 F2 minus P1 F1 is always equal to 2a. So in this way one can prove the difference of the further point minus near point, that will be equal to 2a. Clear? Now some terminology are also there, like in the case of the ellipse you have to see eccentricity. Here also we see meaning is said eccentricity. So what is the definition? It is the ratio of C by A. Or in theoretically if you define, this will be the distance of the two foci from distance of any one focus from the center divided by, or the ratio with the distance of any one vertex. So we can say, just like an ellipse, the ratio E equal to C by A is called the eccentricity of the hyperbola. So hyperbola eccentricity again have formula. Here since C is greater than equal to A, the eccentricity is never less than 1. So here we are saying that C is greater than A. So numerator is greater than A, it means value of E or eccentricity is equal to or greater than 1. But in the case of the ellipse, in ellipse you know that A is greater than C. So denominator is greater. So eccentricity is always less than 1. So in some competitive exam it may be also asked, what is the value of E in the hyperbola or in the ellipse? So you can say some condition is also given like this: E is less than 1 for the ellipse, and for hyperbola value of eccentricity will be always. So these calculation, when we are calculating, then you can check it, either it is true or not. Correct? Now we see very important point, that is the standard equation of an hyperbola. Like in the case of the ellipse, as you know that there are two types of ellipse whose equation are x square upon a square plus y square upon b square equal to 1, and second form is x square upon b square plus y square upon a square equal to 1. Here also we have two types of the hyperbola. So the standard equation of hyperbola, standard equation of a hyperbola. Correct? Standard equation of the hyperbola. So you can say the equation of a hyperbola is simplest. In your syllabus, the equation is simplest. Why simplest? Because the center of the hyperbola is at origin. We are taking the hyperbola whose transverse axis along the x-axis. Transverse axis. First we take transverse axis along x-axis and center at origin. Clear? So this is the transverse axis. And this is center, which is at origin. And here we have two foci, F1 and F2. Clear? Now as we are taking the distance between two foci as 2c, and this is the center point, so this will be distance as a c, and this also distance as a c. So coordinate of foci will be c0 and minus c0. Also we have taken the vertices, these points, distance between these is we are taking as 2a, so it will be coordinates, this is total 2a, so it is a and it is a, so vertex of this will be minus a0 and vertex of this, that is plus a0. So dear student, in this way we get the coordinates of the foci and coordinates of the vertex or vertices of a hyperbola. Clear? Now question is there, for first time we can O be the midpoint of these two, and we make all these calculations, and we are taking transfer axis along x-axis and conjugate axis along the y-axis. This is y-axis, so it is a standard of simplest parabola. Correct? Now we draw the equation for this. Let pxy be any point. For drawing equation always we take a general point. Any point on curve. Suppose here say this is p with the coordinate xy. So now by the definition of the parabola, any point P, then its distance from the further point, that is P F1 minus, so by definition of hyperbola we have Pf1 minus Pf2 equal to constant, and in previous topic we already proved this constant is 2a. So like in the case of the ellipse, you have taken here Pf1 plus Pf2 2a. Clear? Now using the distance formula, we know distance formula what say x2 minus x1, y2 minus y1. So we want to find the distance of the point P and F1. P and F1, so root of x coordinate of P minus x coordinate of this. So x minus plus y minus 0. This is the Pf1. Similarly, using distance formula, one can find Pf2. So Pf2 x minus c. So x minus c whole square plus y minus g is equal to 2a. Now we have to solve this as similar in the case of the ellipse. ये हमने जैसे ellipse में solve किया वैसे ही करना है. जब आपको दो रूट एक साथ आ जाते हैं एक साइड में, तो एक रूट को हम दूसरी साइड में ले लेते हैं. So this can be transferred on this side. So what we write here? X plus c whole square plus y square equal to 2a. Now this minus transfer to this side, it will convert into plus y. Now to remove the square, here only square given this term. So whole square. So dear student, we are squaring on both sides of this including equation. That on left hand side there is a whole root. So root and its square root will be removed. So we get only x plus c whole square plus y minus 0, that is y square. And on the right hand side we can see a plus b whole square. A means 2a and b means root of x minus c whole square plus I. So we can use formula on the right hand side, a plus b whole square. So a square means 2a square plus b means root of this x minus c whole square plus y square is whole square. A square plus b square plus 2a into b. b means x minus c plus y square. Now we have to solve this. This you can open, that is x square plus c square plus 2xc plus y square. Here we use formula a plus b whole square, that is a square plus b square plus 2ab plus y square. Now again on the right hand side we see 2a square, that is 4a square. Here square and square will cancel, so we get x minus c whole square plus y square, and 2 into 2 4 root of x minus c square plus y square. Now see x square plus c square plus 2xc plus y square 4a square. Now we open this a plus b whole square or a minus b. So that is a square x square b square c square minus 2xc plus y square plus this term shall be right 4a root of this. Now on both sides similar terms are cancelled. C square x square x, they are cancelled out. So on the left hand side only left x, right hand side 4a square minus 2xc plus 4a root of x minus c whole square plus y square. So now this minus 2xc transfer this side. So minus minus plus, so this is 4a. A square plus 4a root of x minus c square plus y square. Now again this 4a is throughout you divide by 4. So if you throughout divide by 4, then 4 is cancelled out. So what we get, x now a square transfer to this side equal to a root of x minus c plus y square. Now a transfer to this side, x minus c a square in the limit x minus c whole square plus y square. Now we further simplify this. So which is equal to xc by a minus a. Now root is only right hand side, so again squaring. Again squaring both sides. So if you square, then what we get? A here square of this, here square. So on the right hand side square and square are cancel out. On left side we use formula a minus b whole square. So a square, that is x square c square a square plus b square minus 2 into xc upon a into b, a square plus b square minus 2ab equal to, now right hand side square and square will cancel. So you get x minus c whole square plus y square. Okay? So this value we get. Now further we simplify this, as here see how we solve this. For the simplification we have solved. So see this can be remains same. Left side x square c square a square plus a square minus 2. Now this a and a cancel, divide one time, so minus 2xc is equal. Now on right hand side again we use formula a minus b whole square. So a means x, so x square plus c square minus 2xc plus y square. So now similar term on both sides are cancelled out again, minus 2xc. So now we can set each term on the side variable term. So x square c square upon a square minus x square, this y square transfer to the side, y square. Constant on a transfer to the right hand side. So we get a square minus c square minus a square. Now here in the two terms we take x square as a common. So if you take common a, then c square minus 1 minus y square c square minus, now take LCM. So we get c square minus a square upon a square minus y square equal to c square minus a square. Now see here very important calculation portion. So as we have or we know that value of c square minus a square, in the hyperbola we are taking b square as c square minus a. So this c square minus a square in both place we replace by b square. So after replacing this we get x square into b square upon a square minus y square equal to, now this is c square minus a square, that is again b square. So now throughout if you divide by b square, so here b square cancel out, so x square upon a square, y square upon b square and b square upon 11. So we get the equation of the ellipse. So hyperbola. So this is, dear student, the equation of the first type of the hyperbola in x square upon a square minus y square upon b square equal to 1. So for this type of hyperbola we have equation x square a square minus y square b square upon equal to a. So this is the first type of the equation or standard form of the first type of the hyperbola. Now if you discuss about the second type of a hyperbola, then see what changes are there, that we have to see. So dear students, see that the transverse axis will be along the y axis for the second type of the hyperbola. This is y axis, this is y. Clear? Now one see, so the coordinate of the foci, that is f1 will be 0c, f2 0 minus c. Vertex coordinate here 0a and 0 minus a. So this is the second type of the hyperbola whose transverse axis along the y-axis, its transverse axis along the x-axis. Clear? So now see, the equation of this will be, if you draw similar process using same formula, that will be y square upon a square minus x square upon b square equal to 1. This is the formula for the second type of the hyperbola. Clear? So what is the difference between these two equations? That is very important. You can see that here the positive term, that is x square upon a square is positive. So the axis will be on that axis which is positive value. So here x square is positive, so its transverse axis along the x-axis. And here term positive is y square by a square. So axis will be along the y. Axis means a transverse axis. So this is the identification which type of the hyperbola represent which type of the formula. So that depends, the term positive will along the axis of the hyperbola. So if it is positive x-axis, then it will be x-axis, and positive y coordinate or y term containing y square, then it will be y. Clear? So dear student, this type of a hyperbola are the standard. Now what we can say here, its center coordinate is 0 0 or it lies on origin, transverse axis along the x-axis, conjugate axis along the y-axis, and coordinate of foci plus minus c0, coordinate of the vertex plus minus a0. And for this type of parabola, second type of hyperbola, that is coordinate of the foci is 0 plus minus c. Coordinate of foci vertices, that is 0 plus minus a. Clear? Now in this you can say the length of the transverse axis, that is 2a, and here also length of the conjugate axis, that is 2b. Similarly here length of the transverse axis remains same, that is 2a, and length of the conjugate axis, that is this conjugate axis, that will be 2b. So this one, but in a hyperbola where in which one more type of a hyperbola, if you in which both are equal, semi-transverse axis and semi-conjugate axis length is equal, such type of a hyperbola is called as a equilateral hyperbola. Equilateral hyperbola. Now we can see that here the some rule or properties of the hyperbola, that we can say that the standard equation the hyperbola have transverse and conjugate axis as the coordinate axis. So this is the we are discussing about the standard hyperbola whose transverse axis and conjugate axis as a coordinate axis and the center at the origin. Center we are taking at the origin. However, there are hyperbola with any two perpendicular lines as a. So in higher study when you move, then we see there are some other type of also hyperbola where two perpendicular lines are also called as a its transverse and conjugated axis, that it is not necessary that they are coordinate axes. Now from the standard equation of the hyperbola we have the following observation. Firstly, hyperbola is symmetric with respect to x-axis and y-axis. So this hyperbola is symmetric above the x-axis. What is the length or what is the shape? That shape or amount will be same on the below of the x-axis. Similarly, toward the left side of the y-axis, whatever curve, that same on the right hand side. So one can say the hyperbola is symmetric about both the coordinate axes. Since if xy is a point on the hyperbola, if you say this pxy is a hyperbola, a point on a hyperbola, then corresponding minus xy will also lie, or minus x minus y or x minus y will be lies on the parabola. Any point with the coordinate x and y lies on hyperbola, then corresponding these are also lies due to the symmetry of the hyperbola. The foci are always on the transverse axis. Dear student, one more point is there. Always either you can take this type of hyperbola or you can take this type of a hyperbola. Foci will lie always on the transverse axis. In this x-axis as a transverse, in this y. So coordinate of the foci or you can say vertices always lies on the transverse axis. It is the positive terms whose denominator gives the transpose. The term whose positive denominator gives the transverse axis, that is a square, so a here, the second a square. So this is x square upon a square positive, y square upon a square. A is the transverse axis, length of 2a. So that depends on the value of positive, either y or x is a positive, depending on that. So that can be gives you the value of the transverse axis. So dear student, it's very important that you have to identify which type of shape is given, and according to which type we have to draw the formula, and after getting the formula you have to identify how we can find their coordinates of their foci or what is it. Also we have to see how to find the length of the transverse axis and length of the conjugate axis. So dear student, this is all about today's class. Then to be continue with us, because we see in the next class, that is very important, some example of this, and also we see what we mean by the length of the latus rectum of the hyperbola, that is very important. So thanks for watching. Have a nice day. To be continue with us, because dear student, I am just uploading all the videos which is very important. If you combine, then you get the syllabus of 11th class as well as 12th class. So one time if you watch, then it is clearly concepts are clear to you. So thanks and have a nice day.